Hi there, I'm Lauren Tarshis, editor of Storyworks and author of the I Survived series, and I am so happy to be with you today to talk to you about my latest Storyworks article, Our World Turned to Water. It's the story about a disastrous flood that hit southern Louisiana in August of 2016. Thousands of people lost their homes, their cars, everything they owned. Schools were ruined. It was the worst natural disaster in the United States since Hurricane Sandy, which devastated parts of the East Coast in 2012. I live on the East Coast, nearly 1,500 miles from Louisiana. But the disaster there became very personal for me when I received an email from Margaret Boudreau, a Storyworks teacher at Episcopal School in the city of Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Margaret wrote,
"We've just suffered a great flood, a 1,000-year flood. Much of our school was damaged, and many of our students and teachers lost their homes. My students and I invite you to visit us to meet boys and girls who can tell you this story firsthand."
I always feel honored to be invited into the lives of people who want to share their stories with me. Like when I met students from Henryville, Indiana, whose school was destroyed by a tornado. And kids and teachers from Joplin, Missouri, who in 2011 experienced the deadliest American tornado strike in 50 years. And Arielle Creamer, who told her story about living through Hurricane Sandy in 2012. Being asked to write about somebody's story is a big responsibility. People share deeply painful and personal experiences, and then they trust me to tell their story in a way that captures what they went through. These stories are important to share. We may not live in Louisiana or know anyone there, but reading about somebody's personal experience connects us to them. It builds our empathy and our understanding, and hopefully it will inspire us to help in some way. Because unpredictable events happen all the time, all over our country and all over our world. Within moments of reading Mrs. Boudreau's email, I decided that I would make the trip to Baton Rouge. And from the second I arrived, I knew that I was about to have an experience that I would remember forever. From the start, I realized there were going to be two big parts to this story. The first part, of course, was the flood. Margaret called it a 1,000-year flood. Unfortunately, probably because of climate change, these kinds of floods are happening more and more often, and in places where people don't usually have to worry about rising waters. Margaret arranged for me to meet with different people from the Episcopal School community who had been severely impacted by the flood. There was the Episcopal PE teacher and coach, Heidi Hebert.
When we went to bed that night, Jeff had to get up the next morning, and when he woke up to go to work he woke up about 5, and he stepped into about ankle-deep water. He just lays his hand on my shoulder and says, "We have to go."
There was the school nurse, Christy McKenzie.
We had to move back into our house a week after because we didn't have anywhere else to go.
There was 5th grader Addison Botos.
We were trying to get out, and then we were like, how were you going to get out, because the water was really high and it was going really fast.
It was very painful to hear about the terror that these people felt as the waters began to rise, to feel their fear, to learn about what they lost. But that was really only one part of the story they shared with me. What the Episcopal students and their teachers really wanted me to know was about the outpouring of generosity and care that they felt from their community. And I knew that this was going to be a huge part of the story and probably the most remarkable part. It was truly amazing to hear how people mobilized to help each other.
Just an army of kids, day in, day out, from dawn till dusk, were in homes, working, tearing out, doing everything they could.
After the flood and waters receded, the first thing that came to my mind, okay, well, what do I do now? So I threw what tools I had in the back of my truck, and we all met at this person's house and started taking out carpet, taking out furniture, taking out drywall.
I reach out to the Episcopal moms, mothers of my kids' friends. You know, this is what I think we need to do. This is what we need. Within less than an hour, my garage was filled with cleaning supplies, bottled water, ice, gloves, masks. I mean, this community it's just amazing. You ask for it and it shows up.
On Wednesday morning, when Travis walked down my street with his daughters, when Margaret showed up, and lots of our faculty, lots of my softball team, the football team, the Episcopal community, the way that I describe it is that they were the breath in my lungs when I could not breathe. We are a family, and it is one that I could not have done it without.
Sometimes people ask me why I spend so much of my writing life focusing on terrible events, not only natural disasters, but wars and accidents. Doesn't this become very upsetting, they ask me? Of course it does. But strangely, writing these stories has somehow made me a more hopeful person. Because what they all have in common isn't loss or destruction, it's something called resilience. Resilience is how we can go through difficult experiences and somehow get through. People come together, they rally around each other. And that fills me with hope. Because most of us, even if we don't confront a flood or a tornado or a hurricane, will have setbacks in our lives. Resilience is what helps us get through. Spending time with Mrs. Boudreau and her students and fellow teachers showed me once again that we humans can be far more kind and strong than we might imagine we can be. And that makes me feel kinder and stronger somehow. My hope is that after you read my story, you will feel that way too.